Hi everyone, I'm Erin Bassett and today I'm going to show you how to make these cute little unicorn cupcake holders. To get started, go ahead and download the free Scan and Cut file, and then you'll open it up in Scan and Cut Canvas by clicking on that icon and choosing your file and then clicking OK. Now I plan on making 4 of these, so I'm going to duplicate them by selecting all 3 pieces, right clicking and click duplicate, and I can just do that 3 more times so that I have 4 total. And if I wanted to, I could go ahead and rearrange those on my mat right now, or I could just send it over to my Scan and Cut and let the machine rearrange it all for me. So I'll just go ahead and click on download and then the Scan and Cut transfer, and magically it went over to my Scan and Cut. Now I can insert my mat in the machine, and I want to make sure my paper is smoothed onto the mat and stuck well. And then I'll click on patterns and the Scan and Cut transfer button. And there is all my pieces. Then to have my machine rearrange these, I'll just click on those triangle icon and then pick whichever option I wanted. And that'll probably depend on what size paper you have that you're using. And then when you're ready, just click OK. Now I want to cut those horns out of another piece of paper. So I'm going to select all of them and then delete them. And then I'm just going to move all those unicorn ears into place so that I can cut it out on my piece of paper. And I'm using an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. I need them to all fit on there, so I'm just going to drag them into place. Okay, I think those will fit, so I'll just click OK and cut. And when I'm ready, I can hit start. And when it's finished cutting, I could go ahead and click OK and unload my mat. So now you can see how those all turned out. So now I am ready to do my horns, and I'm going to do it on this gold paper. So I'm just using a remnant from a project that I had left over. And now I'm ready to cut it out. So I'm going to hit that home button and click OK, then go to patterns and click on the Scan Cut Transfer button. So I have my pattern once again, and now I want to delete the ears so that I can cut out just the horns. So again, I'm going to select them, and then I'll be able to click OK, and then OK, and hit delete, and then OK. Now, if I was using a full sheet of paper, I can do like we did previously and click on those triangles to arrange them so that it'll just cut out. But I'm using this remnant, so I'm going to scan it in first so I can place my triangles. So after it scans, we can see that those triangles are not all going to fit on there. In fact, maybe only 1, maybe 2 will fit. So I'm just going to do 1 for right now, and I am going to need to rotate it. So I'll click on that button and click on the rotate button, and then might be able to do it by 10-degree increments, or maybe I'll just hit 90, and yeah, that looks like it'll work. And then I'll just put it back over there, and I'm going to delete these guys because I'm not going to cut them out right now. And I'll click OK, OK. And again, I can select all of these so that I can trash them. So I just want to select the ones that I'm getting rid of, click OK, OK, trash, and OK. So now I just have my 1. I'm going to click OK, OK, cut, and start. Now that it's finished cutting, I could go ahead and unload my mat. And then here is my 1 horn. So it looks like I can fit another one on there, so I'm just going to repeat that process and fit in another horn. and then I'll be able to cut the others out on another scrap of paper. So I reloaded my mat into the machine, and again I am going to scan it in so that I can move my horn exactly where it needs to be cut. Okay, so there is my remnant, and I can just move that triangle right in that little empty spot right there, and then click OK and cut. Okay, so 2 horns down, 2 to go, and I just went ahead and cut those out in the same manner that I cut the previous 2. And now we're ready to assemble our little unicorn cupcake holder, which I'm making out of a little 9-ounce glass and a lid for it, and it's like a coffee cup lid. Now, since that lid is pretty boring, I'm going to hot glue some rainbow ribbon around the base of it just to jazz it up a little bit. And to do that, of course, I'm going to need a hot glue gun, and I'm using a low temp one just because I'm gluing onto plastic and I don't want it to melt. So now each of these ears has that little slit at the base of it, and you're just going to put a little dab of glue on one edge of it and then bend the other edge over it so it overlaps, and it'll just give it a little bit of dimension, a little bit of curve to the ear. Then put another little dab of hot glue at the base of the back side of the ear and glue it onto the cup. And for the horn, same thing, we're just going to put a little dab of glue at the bottom of the back side of it and stick it in between those 2 ears. Cute. Now I wanted to make a little sign so that people would know that they could take a cupcake. So I loaded a piece of vinyl onto my mat and inserted it in my machine, and I'm going to change my blade depth to be pretty shallow because I want it to be able to cut through the vinyl but not through the backing of the vinyl. So again, you're going to want to download the cut file and send it over to your scan and cut machine. So then on your scan and cut, click patterns and the scan and cut transfer button, and your pattern will pop up. And then add a test cut by clicking add and then test, and choose whatever shape you want and set it on your mat. And I like to just drag it down where I can be able to reach it. So there's good. And then I'll click OK and cut and hit start. Now after it cut it out, I can evaluate it, see if it just cut my vinyl, which it did, and now I can click start to continue. Once it's all cut out, you're ready to weed out the negative parts of the vinyl, and you just want to peel it away very slowly so you don't remove any of the wrong parts. And it's really helpful to use the hook tool to be able to get out those centers of the letters. So now we're ready for our transfer paper, and I love this because it has a grid on it, so it's really easy to get things straight. So you'll just take it, and I like to fold it in half so I'm not covering up all my vinyl with the stickiness at one time, and then just smooth it on there. I like to use my finger because I always know where that is, but you could use your spatula as well. And then you'll just slowly peel it away off of the backing. So now I'm ready to put it onto my chalkboard. So I am just going to take my transfer paper and put it sticky side down onto my chalkboard, line it up, and I want to make sure it's centered. That looks about right. And then I can just smooth it on, and again, I want to burnish it on with either your fingernail or a spatula, and just make sure it's on there well before you start to peel off the transfer paper. For more information about Scan and Cut, go to scanandcut.com, and for more ideas and inspiration, visit erinbassett.com.